It's time for Sam Kerr. She is now awaiting a verdict in the racial harassment trial as her bitter court battle comes to an end. The defence gave their closing remarks in the case, saying the conduct of the police was completely unacceptable. Now the soccer star's fate lies in the hands of the jury, and if found guilty, Kerr may face years behind bars and the prospect of never playing for her country again. For more Daily Mail crime correspondent George Odling joins us now live from London. Great to speak again. So deliberations underway. When are we going to get a result?
Well, it might well be that this time tomorrow we have a verdict, the jury have returned a verdict, but they might take half an hour, another half an hour, they might take a week. It's impossible to predict, unfortunately.
So what did the defence say in their closing remarks?
So Sam Kerr's defence barrister, Grace Forbes, she asked the jury to put themselves in the shoes of Kerr and Mewis. She said they were so terrified when they entered the police station because of the ordeal they'd had in this taxi, where they'd been so scared that they were being trapped that they kicked in the window. She also portrayed the two women as victims in this case. They were victims, she said, both of this taxi driver and also of the police in the station who were failing to listen to them. She said that, yes, obviously they were very drunk at the time, but being very drunk doesn't mean that you can't be a victim. And she pointed out as well that it was Kerr who... She said that Kerr was being treated differently by the police, and she pointed out that Kerr was the one who was arrested for criminal damage, when Mewis had said time and time again that it was actually her who kicked out the taxi's window. And she questioned whether this police officer who's accused her of racially aggravated abuse, whether he was exaggerating how upset he'd been at the time. Because she pointed out that two of his colleagues in their own statement said that they weren't upset by her words at all.
George, if found guilty, she could face time behind bars. A really interesting debate is raging here. I'm not sure if it's the same over there as well. And it's the use of that word white and how much racist connotation it actually carries. Could this set a new precedent in regards to legal cases like this?
Well, I suppose the law is the law, and it's right the same way for obviously the reason that it's racially aggravated is because is this specific mention of the skin colour. If she hadn't mentioned skin colour, it wouldn't have been a problem. And I mean, there are different connotations that come from when you're aiming at a white person or a black person, but it's a very interesting case, like you say, and it's up to the jury now to decide whether her intent was to cause him distress by the fact that she mentioned his skin colour, and whether he did indeed feel upset and distressed because the fact she mentioned his race.
Yep, we'll stay across it. As soon as we get a verdict, we'll let you know. Thank you, George.